G7 summit in Canada to deal with the Iran-Israel conflict, telling reporters on Air Force One it is not to work out a ceasefire like French President Macron says.
I didn't say I was looking for a ceasefire. That was Emmanuel, nice guy, but he doesn't get it right too often. But we're not looking. We're looking for better than a ceasefire.
Now, the president posted on Truth Social, if Iran wants peace talks, they know how to reach him, adding they should have taken the deal on the table. The president also repeated that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, urging everyone in Tehran to evacuate immediately as Israel keeps attacking. That's the moment Iran state TV was bombed, and while that reporter ran off the set,
one woman was killed by that airstrike. Israel did send warnings into the area surrounding the state TV building, telling people to evacuate the area. State TV did get back on the air from a remote location.
Another attack killed Iran's top military commander, who had just replaced the last one Israel killed 4 days ago. Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv also reports
the ballistic missile attacks continue, but to quote an Israeli military official who just spoke a short time ago, the attacks have not been as impactful, and we certainly haven't seen the same kind of numbers. There were a number of false alarms last night. This morning, a missile attack did materialize, but as opposed to the hundreds of missiles and drones that we've seen incoming before, there were about 20. 4 missiles did get through.
But no casualties were reported. Prior attacks have killed 24 Israelis. Russia bombarded Ukraine overnight with hundreds of drones and missiles, killing at least 15 people, most of them in the capital, Kyiv. California's attempt to end President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles gets a hearing in an appeals court today. That court temporarily blocked a judge's order to undo the deployment, saying the president exceeded his authority, using the troops to deal with destructive protests. America's listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Before President Trump left Canada, ending his trip to the G7 summit early, he talked trade with Canada and the European Union and finalized a deal.
President Trump and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer signed off on a new trade agreement intended to cap tariffs on British imports and open UK markets for American farmers.
Fair deal for both. Going to produce a lot of jobs, a lot of income.
The president says many more trade deals are on the way. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney says he and President Trump agreed to trade talks to reach a deal within a month.
We have different concepts. I have a tariff concept. Mark has a different concept, which is something that some people like.
Representatives of the European Union are also here, another key U.S. trading partner looking to avoid higher tariff rates. In Calgary, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Members of Congress will get a security briefing today after the weekend shootings in Minnesota left a state lawmaker and her husband dead and a state senator and his wife wounded. Police say the accused gunman, jailed on state and federal murder charges, had a list of many other Democratic lawmakers as potential targets. On Wall Street, stock futures are falling before today's trading and before a new report on the economy, retail sales for May. In the NBA Finals, another win for Oklahoma City.
The Pacers cut an 18-point deficit all the way down to 2 points with 8.5 minutes to play. In Game 1, Indiana erased a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter and won by 1 point. Last night, after the Pacers got within 95-93, Oklahoma City outscored Indiana 25-16 the rest of the game to win by 11, 120-109, and go up 3-2 in the NBA Finals.
That was honestly the same exact game as Game 1, to be totally honest. So learning through these finals, that's what makes the team good, and I thought we were able to do that, and we were able to collectively get stops and win the game.
Jalen Williams of the Thunder with ABC after he scored 40 points in Game 5.
That's Jared Max. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Michael Madigan sentenced Friday to 7.5 years behind bars after he was found guilty in February of bribery and other corruption counts. Federal prosecutors say Madigan conspired with others to get ComEd to make monetary payments to his associates in exchange for favorable legislation. An immediate spike in oil prices following Israel's strikes on Iran expected to show up at gas pumps across the U.S. in the coming days and weeks, pushing up fuel prices by as much as 25 cents per gallon. That according to Gas Buddy. Prices rose by more than 8% Friday after Iranian ballistic missiles hit Tel Aviv in a retaliatory attack. Central Illinois about to get a little bit sweeter with the official openings of not one but two Main Scoop ice cream locations. Tuesday, several restaurants in the Yard on Broadway and downtown Urbana prepared for business, including the Main Scoop ice cream, Smith Burger, and Public House, 1833, also opened up. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Oh, the best ice cream place is in the basement of the Illini Union.
Oh, really?
It's Bruce Hink. He's the guy that did the lights many years ago.
Okay.
And he's got, what is it? I can't remember the name of it. Moo of I.
Okay.
The Moo of I. Moo. Anyway, what you do is you get fresh ice cream. They're really, really fresh. You put fresh raspberries, whatever you want, fresh fruit, fresh. It's the best ever.
Nice.
Solia loves ice cream, so do I.
Every place has the best ice cream.
This has got the ingredients of fresh. Nobody does it like Bruce. Basement of the Illini Union be perfect now to go because nobody's there. So you can go get Moo of I. I strictly
Union's over there at the bookstore too, right? Is that
it's kind of kitty corner now off Right Street.
Yeah, okay. All right.
The U of I and the alma mater and the wonderful things there. Okay, so
we've got like a food truck in Tolono these days. Holden a Cone. There's the Holden Street, and that's the residence for the family, and they're doing this little ice cream truck with homemade ice cream.
What the heck?
It's
okay.
Delicious.
Hey,
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm personally borrowing the radio station here, ladies and gentlemen. so if I have the oldest that goes to the University of Illinois Chicago Circle U of I UIC campus, that makes me an Illini dad, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, Illini. Of course, they go by some other name up there.
Yeah.
Chicago.
We're trying to get them to get head south. That'd be great because I know you guys are keeping an eye on them. So.
Oh yeah. We want him to come down to Champaign Urbana. He'll be our intern.
I got plenty of time for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Christopher, who is that?
No, that'd be Jacob.
Christopher's done.
No, he wants to get into accounting now.
Okay.
He still cooks. Listen to this guy. For summertime, 3 classes, okay? He's trying to wrap up his get to the accounting portion of his career. 3 classes, and he's working 2 jobs this summer.
I'm talking about hard-working American.
Okay.
There you go.
Way ahead of
capitalism at best.
You said Jacob is the UIC kid?
Jake's working in a law firm,
wow.
like for probate type stuff. As an he's like the meet and greet kind of person, fills out the paperwork and
awesome.
And he wants to
Just tell those boys that if they're hungry, they're going to be in the top 2% of their age. Okay. If they're hungry to get it done, they'll get hired in 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't find kids because they got to be off Thursdays and Fridays for garage sale weekends. Anyway, it's just it's a whole different thing, and they apparently survived COVID, which is great news.
I think I think in the years to come there'll be like research for that age group just to see, for folks who. And Christopher struggled. He really did struggle. He was not a virtual classroom kind of guy. So
Well, all right. So I was with my mom at some physical therapy, and I couldn't get her out the place because it was raining so much.
I was near Parkland around 3:00 off Mattis, and it was a deluge.
You just had to kind of wait. And we had flooding on Country Fair Drive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We had it in the forecast here.
Yes, sir. Some woman I heard off the corner there said this wasn't in the forecast. Well, they weren't listening to Greg Soler.
That's right. And if you look at the phone, it's not what you think it is on those forecasts. It turns up.
It kind of
that's
pop
why
up,
we're here doing this for you guys.
So what was our official total?
Now that I have to go back and look at.
Because, I mean, it had to be
there were some spots that, for example, well, that little mechanism here, we'll just do it this way. The overnight rains north and northwest of St. Louis were between about 1 and 2 inches, and there's some spots before all done will be 3 and 4. So there were pockets that had comparable rain that we had here on Saturday, late Friday night, Saturday morning. That same mechanism was there. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some quick, inch and a quarter downpours in very spotty areas yesterday afternoon and evening time.
It came down quickly in lots, and once it was really something else. Deluge is a good word. Weather this morning brought to you by Carl.
And Carl reminds you, if you're taking care of an elderly person or you're on the opposite end trying to raise grandchildren, maybe you have some questions about your services. Head to carl.org/services for details.
All right, foggy this morning. Make sure your lights are on. It's not to see necessarily, it's to be seen. Old Unity basketball coach Woody Burnell, that's what he said. It's not to see, it's to be seen.
Excellent words of advice.
Here we go. Meteorologist Greg Sawyer, what you seeing today?
Well, there's nothing at Willard Savoy on the gauge there. So again, we go back to the Doppler estimates, and there were some quick 3/4 to about an inch and a tenth, inch and a quarter in real spotty coverages here, and then back up towards the Peoria area on that run towards parts of the Illinois River Valley sections, but very small and clustered. We may do that again in a couple of spots this afternoon and evening time with a little more humidity in the air and a high of around 89 and a partly sunny sky. But in the meantime, it's that dense fog advisory here in Champaign County and kind of along in north and west of the I-57 corridor and a quarter mile at Willard and Savoy right now. And for you aviation people, just 100-foot ceilings out there. That's low IFR. So 89 today, 70 tonight with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Better odds after midnight. Tomorrow, showers and thunder in the morning. Everyone gets into it. And tomorrow afternoon as well, we'll get back into it. And there's an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow in the afternoon. The high around 86. Then drier air, 83 on Thursday, up to 87. The first day of summer, Friday evening at 9:42. Then hot, humid Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Maybe a thunderstorm Saturday morning. Mid-90s daytime, mid-70s at night. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. This stuff can be so spotty. I looked at the maps. It was pouring when I was. Philo was dry. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's 10 miles, so... Anyway, lots of rain in some areas, not so much in others, but that's called spotty. But it was all over yesterday about what we could expect. Mike Tobin's going to jump on the phone from Tel Aviv. We like Mike. He's wherever there's smoke, there's Tobin, because he's standing there in the middle of it. They sent him over to Israel, presumably to get the woman I talked to the other day.
Oh, really?
Kelly Hogan?
That sounds right.
She was here.
She's expecting.
I'm sending the Secret Service to get you now. You come home.
Wow.
You don't go there in Israel right now. But she was just Kevlar helmet, the whole thing. Anyway, so Mike Tobin will jump on the phone with us in minutes, probably 7 minutes from now. He'll be calling in. So we'll get the very latest with Iran is really backed up to the wall right now because they are now limiting their missiles. They did have some more, I think, success hitting a couple of spots in Israel that got through the defense system of Israel's. But the sea, they had a plane flying from Dubai, and the pilots were really high up. They could see the missile launches from Iran. And they went straight to space. They go 2 miles up. Apparently they can go 2 miles in 1 second. I don't know how fast that is, but that's fast.
Wow.
Goes up to space and comes down. Israel's been getting most of them, but they're suffering deaths on their side as well as Iran. But the state TV in Iran got hit while the woman was talking. And she moved quickly out of the anchor seat, out of the shot, because part of the ceiling was coming in.
Right.
So this is going back and forth. But if Iran does not have air defense, if they don't have fighter pilots, I mean, it's whatever you want to do. So this is like I have the queen, the king, and 2 rooks, and you've got a king and a horse. They're really up against it. Will the mullahs try and flee? Will they look for sanctuary somewhere and get out of town? So that's what President Trump left the G7 yesterday after dinner and got back. He's in the Situation Room as we speak this morning. And I don't know what's coming up. Don't know anything except that it's happening, and Israel has the far upper hand as far as I understand it. We'll check with Mike Tobin here coming up. All right, sports headlines, 7:15 on this Tuesday, June 17.
Well, lots of Illini news, Stevie, and hearing that Ty Rodgers got an injury during a pickup basketball game in Michigan, requiring surgery. He took a red shirt last season, and then Illinois basketball practice starting yesterday. So we're hearing also about Will Riley invited to the green room for the NBA draft in New York, June 25th and 26th, joining Kasparas Jakachonis.
Yeah, last time that happened?
Never.
Nebuary.
And congratulations to Coach Dan Hartleb. He also has been tapped as the USA Baseball collegiate national team hitting and bench coach, so
awesome.
He'll be busy with that this summer.
And Mike Small's won, the 7th time he's won a regional champion. I mean, it's what he's done is very few golf coaches has done as well. As far as Ty Rodgers, I mean, surgery on the knee.
I know.
Next year, can he play in
They're
January?
not even saying.
I know. They don't know, and it's just so many things dependent, but that's such a shame. Doggone it. I was so looking forward to Ty Rodgers.
Me too.
And this David Makovich, he's one of the basketball players in the Balkans. He's not cleared to get into the U.S. yet.
I see.
So they're working on that.
Speaking of
Brad
basketball,
Underwood thinks he'll get all his guys eventually.
Okay. Speaking of basketball, Oklahoma City takes a 3-2 lead, beating the Indiana Pacers yesterday in NBA action. Well, the baseball has the Cardinals in action against the White Sox. Let's get more details.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
The Cardinals are hoping an off day is just what the doctor ordered, as they have won just 4 of their last 12 games. That's over an 11-day stretch, and they also just lost 3 of 4 to the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. They were able to enjoy an off day in Chicago yesterday, and tonight they're going to open up a 3-game series against the White Sox. The Cardinals have lost 3 games in the standings over the last week or so. Matthew Liberatore will start tonight for the Cardinals. The left-hander comes in with a 3-6 record, a 4.17 ERA. His last time out was on Wednesday against Toronto, where he gave up 5 runs and 9 hits in 5 innings. Rookie righty Shane Smith will go for the White Sox. He is 3-3 with a 2.37 ERA. 6:40 first pitch tonight. That means our coverage begins at 5:45. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
It's Illini night in Wrigley. Milwaukee is coming to visit the Cubs. 7:05 first pitch on US 105.9.
All right, and the Cubbies firmly in first place. Cardinals, I think, might have slipped to 4th. Check your weather, brought to you this morning by Urbana Park District.
They've got their neighborhood nights with new souls on stage. Actually, the festivities begin in the 5 o'clock hour near the Health and Wellness Center with their Juneteenth celebration. But we're watching the weather. It could be bumped to Thursday. Let's find out more.
All right, meteorologist Greg Soya coming up on 7:19.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity off and running with some areas of fog and some patchy dense fog through mid-morning. Otherwise, a very warm and humid day's worth of weather. Free Central Illinois, the Twin Cities, a partly sunny sky up to about 89 and a small chance, much like yesterday, for an isolated shower thunderstorm this afternoon and evening time. Light south wind continues today and tonight. Overnight lows near 70. Maybe a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Better odds are after midnight for the day tomorrow. Variable cloudy, breezy, warm and humid. Showers and thunderstorms in the morning. They're back in for the afternoon with an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow afternoon. Highs up to 86. Scattered showers and thunderstorms early tomorrow night. Low down to 66. And a sun-filled Thursday. Less humidity in the air. The high up to about 83 on light northwesterly winds. First day of summertime. That will be Friday evening at about 9:42. Partly cloudy, warm, 87. Hot and humid for the weekend early next week. Maybe a thunderstorm early Saturday. Up to 92 there. 94 on Sunday. Mid-90s next Monday. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Turmoil in the Middle East is weighing on stock futures this morning, and crude oil prices are higher. There's news in the food business. Kraft Heinz will no longer use artificial dyes. It tells the Wall Street Journal the dyes will be removed from Jell-O, Kool-Aid, Crystal Light, and everything else it makes by the end of 2027. Artificial colors will be replaced with natural colors or will be removed entirely. New products will not include the dyes. The Trump administration has been pushing food companies to remove synthetic dyes by the end of next year. Lennar shares are up 2%, even though the home builder reported a weaker than expected quarter. Oracle has launched a new program to help smaller companies sell technology, including artificial intelligence, to the Pentagon. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Download the Kudlow Show podcast every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com. Kudlow covers the latest headlines and business trends with an emphasis on the financial impact facing households and businesses across the country. Listen to interviews with key business newsmakers. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Well, he's one of the best reporters out there, man. Every time there's smoke, there's Mike Tobin. Now they send him to Tel Aviv. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you? How is it? How's life in my old stomping ground, Champaign, Illinois?
Yeah, it's great, except you told me the story. Here's a star gymnast coming to University of Illinois, and Yoshi Hayasaki cut you. Well, I talked to Yoshi about this.
Me.
Yeah, I talked to Yoshi about that. And I said,
and what did he say?
I said, Mike Tobin, man, he's a star. He's Mike Fox News. And I quote Yoshi, oh, no.
Yoshi was, when he cut me, he said, maybe you should pursue other interests.
Oh, man.
So I did.
Well, you did. And I got to ask you, because we got great news of the day, but you didn't tell anybody, and nobody knew you summited Mount. You're talking Everest. You did Everest.
Yeah. Well, I told people after I did it.
You didn't tell. Why didn't you tell people before so they could worry?
I mean, you don't want to do that in case you fail, Stevie.
That's amazing. You come on Everest. That was like. There's so many things that have to happen for you to get there. The weather, everything else, frostbite, and you did it, and you were exhausted. And tell me what it's like to reach the highest point on Earth.
The moment of elation, everybody always talks about the moment of elation when you do a big climb. There are two moments of elation for me in this particular one. One, when it's all over and you look up at the mountain and it's kind of surreal when you think, wow, I was up there. And the other was with the northeast ridge of Everest. There are three big obstacles en route to the summit. And the most difficult one is the second step. And when I cleared the second step, I looked at my Sherpa and I said something too vulgar for your airways, but it meant that, we got this.
Unbelievable.
That was kind of a big moment.
Is this like 17,000 feet? What's the summit?
No, it's 29,032 feet.
Wow. It's a world.
Cruising altitude of jet airliners.
Unbelievable. I had no idea it was 29,000.
How you breathing up there, Michael?
I did have a little oxygen assist.
Man.
Good.
Okay, so how long are you there? And coming down is the most dangerous and you're exhausted, but as a former athlete, I think you keyed up for that.
Well, yeah, you try to keep your head about yourself. And I think the reason, there's a lot of reasons why all the accidents happen, or 90% of the accidents happen on the way down, but the biggest one is that people drop their guard. You get tired. You're exhausted by that point, and you really got to keep your head about yourself.
Unbelievable. All right, Mike Tobin is with us. He's in Tel Aviv. We got some really serious stuff going on in Israel and in Iran. So what do you know here this morning, Mike?
Well, the missile barrages continue, but what we saw this morning, really, and last night we got a lot of false alarms. But this morning, only 20 ballistic missiles come in, and it's something to say only 20 missiles came in, but that's as opposed to hundreds, like we saw on previous nights when this Operation Rising Lion started.
Is it true that Iran is really backed up against it, or do we know that?
I think the Iranians are in disarray, and if you saw what Israel did to Hezbollah when they started whacking the top guys, then they hit the successors. And we just saw this with Ali Shadmani. He was appointed 4 days ago to the wartime chief of staff. Well, he just got hit yesterday. And so you have the guys who would have planned the counterstrike in Israel. Well, they all got hit in the first day. And now the guys who are replacing the guys who are at the top of the food chain, they're getting hit as well. So you make a lot of chaos. And then in terms of the missile launchers, Israel now says that they've struck a third of Iran's missile launchers. So and not only do you have a bunch of chaos and people who even know where the missiles are being stored, they're afraid to pull their missile launchers out because you pull it out and you start to use it and you lose the missile launcher.
How good is the Mossad? Are they like our Navy SEALs? They're like our CIA? What Jerusalem, these people are very good at what they do.
I think the Mossad has really surprised everyone, particularly that you saw the pager and the walkie-talkie attack that just stunned the world and made a lot of Israelis very proud. One of the things that we know about Iran and the nuclear program, back when I lived here a decade ago, that was Benjamin Netanyahu's number one cause. So they have had a long time to build the intel. And they say if you're an Iranian walking through Tehran and you had a conversation with a Mossad agent, you'd never know it. That they speak perfect Farsi without an accent, and they have been out there gathering intel, gathering targets, painting targets for a very long time. And that is why you see these top leaders in Iran getting whacked. And this dynamic situation where Israel said they tricked a bunch of them to be in the same room, so they were able to get them all with one missile.
It's unbelievable. If they're going to name another head guy, you might go to the bathroom. You don't want to be in that room. I mean, it's real. True. Why would you? They're going to Israel somehow know and hit you, and they'll know where you are. It's unbelievable. So how does this go? I mean, is Iran? This could be a amazingly good historic time if you can get rid of the top 10% of that country, because I think the other 90% want a little different government.
Well, how long have we been hearing about the secular youth in
Long
Iran?
time.
Yeah, they were supposed to rise up and overthrow. I think it was part of George Bush's planning when he used to say freedom is on the march. He was counting on the secular youth to rise up and overthrow the Ayatollahs. And actually, I heard one diplomatic leader say not too long ago that a good revolution is like tipping over the fridge. You have to rock it a few times. And maybe that's what we're looking at. Maybe that's what President Trump has been hinting at. He just abruptly left the G7 summit and said he's not interested in a ceasefire, something bigger than that. And when pressed on Air Force One in the early hours of this morning, he said, when someone said, "What do you mean by something bigger than that?" He said, "An end." So what does he mean by an end? That's tough to say. I mean, maybe an end of the nuclear program if the U.S. participates in strikes on Fordo. Fordo is one of the nuclear facilities inside of Iran, and Israel, it appears, doesn't have the capabilities to really damage that structure. It's built underground. The U.S. has this 30,000-pound bunker buster bomb that they would need the B-2 bomber to deliver it, and Israel doesn't have the B-2 or that bomb. Then a lot of speculation about whether the U.S. would get involved.
Could you sell it to them for $10 or something? Can you give it to even though it'd be us essentially de facto for sure? But how do you build nuclear stuff 3 miles underground? 3 miles?
Well, they've been doing it for a long time.
Wow.
And for a long time. Even the Natanz, we don't know how much the Natanz facility has been set back, other than the fact that we know that they had power outages. And apparently centrifuges are very fragile. So if you abruptly shut off the power, you'll break the centrifuge.
All right, Mike Tobin, we really appreciate the minutes. I know you're getting hits all day. Yeah, good to have a man of your stature out there. And sorry you didn't get to the Olympics on the other thing, but you did climb Mount Everest. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been on the Olympic team, but I just wasn't that good.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're on TV, I turn it up, okay?
Me too.
You got it going on.
Thank
You're
you.
really good, and congratulations on the summit to Everest. That's unbelievable, actually. Way to go.
I appreciate it. Thank
All
you very
right,
much.
good talking to you. Mike Tobin, live from Tel Aviv this morning in Israel, ESPN 93.5.
You can always hear the interview back at steviejay.com with our podcast feature.
All right, Watts Copy Systems can give you cost-efficient solutions to your busy office. If you'd like a free evaluation, call them at 217-352-0428. That's Watts Copy System. Let me explain your Stever, which you might be very well interested in. That'll be next, 7:30 in Champaign-Urbana.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump left the G7 summit in Canada early, flying back to Washington overnight, he says, because of the Iran-Israel conflict.
The president says he'll be going to the Situation Room early this morning. The president brushing off the claim by French President Emmanuel Macron that he was cutting his G7 trip short because he wanted a ceasefire. The president says he's looking at more than just a ceasefire, adding he wants a real end to the fighting, a, quote, complete give-up by Iran.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. From administration cuts to National Institutes of Health grants focused on minority groups are ruled illegal by a federal judge in Massachusetts.
U.S. District Judge William Young, a Reagan appointee, questioned a Justice Department lawyer over how the administration could justify cutting funds that had been appropriated by Congress, saying that after 40 years on the bench, quote, I've never seen government racial discrimination like this.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Here's a look at local news. Central Illinois about to get a little bit sweeter with the official openings of not one but two Main Scoop ice cream locations. Tuesday, several restaurants in the Yard on Broadway and downtown Urbana prepared for business, including the Main Scoop ice cream. Smith Burger and Public House, 1833, also opened up. Michael Madigan sentenced Friday to 7.5 years behind bars after he was found guilty in February of bribery and other corruption counts. Federal prosecutors say Madigan conspired with others to get ComEd to make monetary payments to his associates in exchange for favorable legislation. An immediate spike in oil prices following Israel's strikes on Iran expected to show up at gas pumps across the U.S. in the coming days and weeks, pushing up fuel prices by as much as 25 cents per gallon. That, according to Gas Buddy, prices rose by more than 8% Friday after Iranian ballistic missiles hit Tel Aviv in a retaliatory attack. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Our weather this morning brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvements. And boy, is there a lot you can do. Maybe you can take the gutter cleaning off your to-do list with the gutter helmet and never have your clogged gutters again. You won't fall off a ladder. Learn more at kramersiding.com.
Blowing at every one. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Plenty of moisture-making opportunities and signs of a flash heat wave weather pattern developing come the weekend into the first half of next week as well. Slim chance for a stray shower thunderstorm this afternoon, much like yesterday. Otherwise, partly sunny, very warm and humid. Still have some areas of fog and patchy dense fog to contend with here through early to mid-morning hours of today. Highs up to about 89. Light south wind 70 tonight with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Otherwise, a warm and humid night. Scattered showers and thunderstorms well after midnight tonight. Light south-southwesterly wind. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms around in the morning. A break back in for the afternoon with an enhanced risk of severe weather. Variably cloudy skies up to 86. Scattered Scattered showers, thunderstorms early tomorrow night down to 66. Sun-filled, less humidity in the air for the day Thursday at 83. First day of summertime, Friday evening 9:42. Partly cloudy, warm at 87. Hot and humid over the weekend. Early next week, maybe a thunderstorm early Saturday. 92 there. 94 Sunday and Monday, hot to 96. For Steve J. Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Land's Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Land's Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
How about that? That's our Stever from Lands.
Oh, good.
Heating, cooling, plumbing, and underground. Mm-hmm. Jesse Stevens, good dude. Oh, that's who just did the commercial.
Yes, he did.
Anyway, I have Orange Club membership available. This is, I think, a stunning Stever. I do. Because I'm paying for 1 year of the Orange Club. The Orange Club is $39.95 or something a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll kind of be on the committee of making sure everything gets checked. They'll call you and say, hey, it's time for your... If you could look up what an Orange Club... I left my sheet upstairs.
I just got it up, and it's plumbing and HVAC, $39.95 a month. Scheduled plumbing, HVAC precision maintenance, one for spring, one for fall. Annual sewer line camera inspection that you just heard Jesse talk about.
Yeah.
Common air filters provided, 25% off repairs, system upgrades, drain cleaning, and up to 10-year warranty on the new HVAC system.
I can't believe it's only $40 a month. Because, I mean, then they'll come in and do all the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every season you need to check your furnace, and every season you need to check your AC.
Mm-hmm.
Should the Freon is good, there's no leaks and stuff like that. Make sure your filters are changed on the furnace stuff. Anyway, if you would like a year's membership at $480 that I will pay for, text in LANZ.
Yeah, text in Lance, 217-359-2255. I see 7 days a week. They're at your beck and call, and there's no emergency dispatch fees in case something does arise.
And if you have something, they'll do the checkup. It's part of the club.
Uh-huh.
And then they'll also check sump pump, water heaters. I mean, when's the last time anybody checked that stuff?
Right.
You want that peace of mind. I'm paying for a year, sir, ma'am. What?
With that deluge that we got yesterday,
Yeah.
your sump pump, if it wasn't in your neighborhood, it could have been.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you're ready.
Yeah, mine was running, but man, you want to make sure that's going.
I had a friend who had inches in the basement and a bunch of stuff stored in boxes. You know, should have chosen tubs, is what she was saying on the social media post.
All right, if you are interested, 217-359-2255 LANZ. You know, our families could use it, so please don't text. All right, it is 7:39. How will the coverage of the 250th glorious birthday of the greatest nation ever conceived, how will that be covered?
I don't know. And especially with the 250th birthday of the Army and the military parades and the grandeur and reflecting on the Army's history and our advances and honoring our soldiers. And then across town, you have all these people protesting.
Well, it just that they didn't show the fireworks and the God Bless America, and how do you not have a love? how many people died again? There's 1 million people that died in Army service, just the Army, over the last 250 years, serving and protecting and giving you a right to be whatever kind of idiot you want to be at a protest, okay? That's the right that they died for, giving you that chance to absolutely be so off kilter and to be so mean, saying the F, unbelievable language.
I saw an ad for a protester and how you get $500 base pay. And then if you are an agitator and you get on some kind of video, then you get a $500 bonus.
So if
you could prove it.
If I have a comedy act and I go to Unity High School and pay people $500 to come, is it truly an audience?
Right.
What the heck is that? I mean, there were nobody getting paid in the 60s, man. Everybody was around and doing the thing, and you were real protesters burning your draft card. Nobody gave them bonuses.
I can't imagine.
It's just so evil to pay people to make it to where you're arrested.
To mess things up.
It's just ridiculous. Right. It's just anarchy within our own nation. You remember Abe Lincoln? We will never succumb to an outside nation, but we can die from within, essentially paraphrase. All right, so here's Sean Spicer, former White House spokesperson, about how the Army's celebration and maybe how the coverage of America will be handled over the next 9 months, 10 months, 12 months.
So look, the reason I think it's important is that the Army and the Navy were founded before the country, right? So my point is that this year we will careen into the 250th anniversary of the country. How do they handle that? The idea that most of these people called it Trump's parade is disgusting. CNN didn't bother to air the end of that beautiful celebration the other night, which I stole and posted if you want to go see it. It was moving and patriotic. And the idea that they chose to cover rallies called No Kings, when we don't, I mean, it was embarrassing for the media how this was covered.
Let me ask you, go ahead.
Hold on, and just the idea, and I've been saying this for a week leading up to this event, the United States Army alone has lost over 1 million Americans in the service of this country to give people the freedom to go do stupid crap like they did this weekend. And the idea that for one day, which also happened to be Flag Day, that you can't just stop and recognize that service is pathetic. And I've put up with a lot of stuff to flag burning and things over the years and said this is, but at some point, if you don't want to be in this country, then leave. Get out. But there are people that have fought and died for the freedom that give us the ability to have this platform to allow you to protest. And if you want to go around and make fun of the President of the United States on a day, any day, go 365 of 4 other days, unless, are we in a leap year? You can do anything you want. Just pay a little respect to the people who actually serve this country. And I found it pathetic. This is the tweet from Chris Cillizza. I've never heard Trump given such a short speech. For all the people who said this would be about Trump, it hasn't been. And I tweeted back, all the people were you guys in the media. This wasn't like, they're acting like somehow they weren't complicit in this. The media's coverage of this was disgusting.
It was an amazing, amazing parade, amazing night. All you want to do is stand up, appreciate what the Army has done over the years. We would not be this country without the soldier. That is absolute. There are bad forces that don't mess with America because it's peace through strength. Ronald Reagan had that. Peace through strength. Trump believes the same thing. You muscle up and you say, don't mess with me. And you have to make them believe, I think they believe Reagan. They certainly believe Trump. That he's crazy. He'll do something, man. You can't. And thus I think that Iran has been very hesitant to hit any of our things, even though our embassy's been damaged in Jerusalem. So in any event, it's just unbelievable that you can't stand up for a 13-year-old cancer survivor at the State of the Union. It's just unbelievable you can't stand up for the flag, or you can watch somebody burn a flag. These are absolute radicals that just don't have much going on in their life except being a professional paid protester. What kind of life is that? And you think you're fighting for justice when you're trying to stop a van full of criminal, illegal immigrants? Let my people go? Wow. There's just serious therapy work here. You got so many people that are just damaged, and for whatever reason, they're just off their rockers. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I will be excited for the 250th. I think the majority, a strong majority, will be proud of our country. What we've done has never been tried before or since. You can't bring Italians and Greeks and Muslims and Jews and Christians together and have it work. Well, for 250 years, all the bumps, we've survived. But you can't take that stuff for granted or it goes away. I really think we were, and now people think it's going away now. There's no democracy and they're fascists. You know that they have said fascist dictator to Trump 100,000 times on CNN, MSNBC over the last years. They average 7 times a day. They talk about it's the end of democracy. He's a fascist Nazi. And no wonder these people are messed up. They watch too much of that.
Right.
So they believe them. They're going to believe them. At some point, you got to seek what's true. What's absolutely true. Trump, I hate to blow your bubble. He's not the devil. He's a guy you might not like because some of the stuff he says and all. The guy's a leader. That's a definition of a leader. You are able to make decisions and stick by them regardless of the wind blowing. I'd say 90% of our politicians, Republican and Democrat, put their finger in the air and they go that direction.
Mm-hmm. Because they want to get in office again.
They just want to keep their gig.
Right.
And they've enriched themselves. How many Congress and Senate, I'm talking both parties here now. How many of them go there and come out millions and millions richer? AOC was a barista. She was making coffee and a bartender. How is she worth $20 million? I just want to know. You get paid $180,000. You get taxed, $80,000 of that. You're not rich. You're doing okay, but not in New York, not in Washington. Cost of living, $180 isn't very much. Not for those environments. Anyway, it's just term limits. We've said it for years. The good old boys club said it for years. And it doesn't feel good for us out here working very hard every day to try and get ahead. And all we hear about is net worth for all these congressmen that shouldn't be net worth than $80 million like Chuck Schumer. What are you doing? You're making deals, you're getting paid, you got this, you got that, you're making insider trades. It is not fair. And so we feel like we're going against our own monolith at times with all this stuff. And so we celebrate the people that have really been on the ground level of keeping us what we have. And you can't run 10 minutes of the end of it with the fireworks. Shame on CNN and MSNBC and those that didn't do it.
Right.
It's ridiculous. All right, we check your weather here coming up in just a second, and then talk to our veterinarian friend, Dr. Todd Likens. That's Tuesday. That's today, June 17.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
All right, it's Tim Onstadt, Dedicated Diesel. We love talking to you about Dedicated Diesel. What's news there?
I've got something. I'm tired of looking at this Dixie Chopper Classic 4060 industrial unit. It's got 58 hours on it. It's basically brand new. The MSRP on that unit is $19,273. The MAP price on it, minimum price that we're allowed to advertise, is $14,577. Somebody's going to walk away with that for $11,000. We're going to take $8,000 or $9,000 off of that and just get rid of it.
Wait a minute, you're talking about a $20,000 machine, and I can get this for essentially half off.
Yep, this is a Dixie Chopper Classic. It's got a 40 horsepower Kawasaki engine, 60-inch deck on it. Comes with all the warranty, $11,000, walk out the door. Call Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment. You can email me at timo@gftlog.com. Get more information, whatever you want to do, we'll get that to you.
All right. If you would like to win our Stever offer from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground, you text in LANZ to be considered. I'm paying for maintenance for a year. $480 free. I'm paying. 217-359-2255.
Be part of the Orange Club.
When you're ready to sell your home, you want to work with a real estate agent that uses proven marketing plans to get your home in front of the most qualified buyers. Nate Evans' group met Taylor. Taylor said that she needed to sell her home. She said they were there for her from start to finish, took care of all the details to make her home selling experience completely stress-free.
That's awesome. With the clear communication, expert knowledge, Taylor ended up highly recommending to buy a home. And to sell your next one, you can start by going to Nate Evans Group and click on Get Home Value to start the process. There's that secret list of homes that'll soon be on the market. So many different features. Dustin was at the Champaign County Farm Bureau and works with farmland and stuff as part of the Nate Evans team. So it's Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. You get that immediate cash offer on your home. There's flexible fees. Sell your home for the most money possible. A friend you can trust. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113, or an online search to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Well, it's Dr. Todd Likens, the Pet Pro, Madison Kirby. What do your dogs do when a monsoon comes? Man.
Make our house smell like wet dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
Were they out on any of that yesterday?
Oh, Muhammad didn't get it. We didn't get it out here.
Oh, okay.
So, Can you believe that?
Yeah.
So it was nice and dry out here. So, but the clinic, boy, we were underwater. I felt like there was an inch of water in the parking lot most of the day.
Yeah, it was really flooding. It was kind of a flash
Kind
flood.
of depended where you were, though. You're right. Over by Parkland and Mattis, and it just talks about several cars stalling in the high water, the flood advisory. I was in it. I was plowing through, and I have some damage to my vehicle now with the starter going out by the time I got home.
You got wet.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. It was a hard rain, no doubt about it.
It was.
Yeah, you could even see it on the interstate when I was driving home. I'd be sunny and nice, and all of a sudden be downpour. You could see it coming at you too.
Do any of the kind of dogs you deal with don't want to go outside? Because our little Morkies are very hesitant. Mosey will go. Lovey just won't go out for a day. If she can't, if she thinks she'll get her feet wet, no, we ain't going.
Yeah, yeah. I love dogs and. You know, it's snow, rain, all that stuff. It's like some of these dogs just say, "No, I'll stay here."
That's so funny. But it's scary and thunder and stuff. Do your dogs react to thunder?
Yep, we have some that do. I mean, not a high percentage, and those guys we use the trazodone on whenever we know it's coming.
Tell people about that. That's a 4th of July solution. Right. What is it again?
Ooh, yeah, that's. Worst holiday in the world for doggies is trazodone is a good answer. It calms them down without making them sleepy. So they're much more accepting. The best example I can use is we had a dog we couldn't cut the nails on, just absolutely flailing, and the owner had not given the trazodone. So they went home, gave the trazodone, came back an hour and a half later, and then it was like, okay, cut him.
Really? Wow.
So
but without making him sleep,
for Olive to get a nail clip.
We have to do that too. It's just these little babies are just scared. They don't like it, or if they haven't. I mean, I don't. People don't like getting their nails clipped. Some of those dogs' nails can be crazy.
Oh, I know
There's a video I kind of see from time to time from a guy in Thailand that rescues dogs, and we think animals are treated poorly sometimes here. It's
horrible.
This dog was on a 3-foot chain. And just starving to death.
Yeah.
It just makes you sick.
Yeah.
It really, really does.
Yeah, it is sad. I mean, there's a lot of silly stuff, I don't get, I saw a video the other day of 2 puppies that were, throwing out the car on a busy road, on the side of the road, and they had their muzzles and their feet taped, and one was dying because it couldn't breathe. It's like, come on.
Well, just shoot them. Don't do that to them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't.
Exactly.
And there was a dog in a flood, and it was up to his past his legs, and you're going, why would you tie him to a fence post?
Right.
Give him a chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's hard to see all that stuff. All right, how can people find Dr. Todd Likens, the Pet Pro Veterinarian?
Well, our text line is up 217-355-5051. We're having some computer issues, but we'll get to it today.
Okay. All right. We'll be in touch, Todd. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
That's Todd Likens, veterinarian, Madison Kirby in Champaign.
Are you looking to get the most from your money? If not, you should be. A free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an excellent annual percentage yield and can really increase your earnings potential. No monthly service fees or minimum balance required. When you're ready to make the most of your money, switch to Rewards Checking and Reward Saver from Fisher National. See monthly requirements at any branch or visit FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
The news will be coming up. It was 10 years ago yesterday. Donald and Melania came down the famous escalator, and the media could not control themselves with laughter. I've got the clip. Stand by.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
This week, it's the one sale pet lovers can't afford to miss. The Pets Pick Flooring event at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. First, get a free labor credit on every carpet and floor. Get a $50 labor credit for every 100 feet you buy. Get up to a $1,000 rebate on great pet-friendly carpets and floors from Shaw. Ask how you can get free accessories or area rugs with your furniture purchase. And buy it all with 2 years free financing. The Pets Pick Flooring event is going on now at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Hey baseball fans, step up to the plate like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and more. Whether you're betting with the home team or scouting the next big matchup, take your swing with the Circa Sports app. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
And the Steve I'm doing is Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Underground, full year of maintenance, $500 I'll pay. 217-359-2255. Text in LANZ if you want to be considered. And good luck. All right, a whole bunch of stuff here in this next hour. Stand by. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie J. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK, ESPN 93.5, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He doesn't believe in phones. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's why President Trump says he left the G7 summit in Canada a day early, saying he prefers secure communications to deal with the Iran-Israel conflict.
Remember, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple.
Telling reporters on Air Force One before landing at 5 a.m. he's working on something bigger than a ceasefire.
Today, President Trump will meet with his national security team.
Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House.
The president was also asked how much he's informing congressional leaders about the situation. He says he'll talk with them at some point, but up on the Hill, some lawmakers are taking action now. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey of Kentucky writing, "This is not our war, but if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to the Constitution. I'm introducing a bipartisan war powers resolution today to prohibit our involvement."
Now, the International Atomic Energy Agency says Israel's strikes targeting Iran's nuclear sites have had direct impact on the Natanz underground uranium enrichment facility.
Israel also says Iran's wartime chief of staff was killed. Ali Shadmani was his name. He was the most senior military commander closest to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But he only had the job for 4 days. He was appointed after his predecessor was killed.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv also reports a few more Iranian missiles got through the air defense.
One of them set a bus on fire in a parking lot. Another set a structure on fire, but no injuries reported thus far.
But in the days of Iranian counterattacks, 24 Israelis have been killed. Members of Congress will get a briefing today, security, after the weekend shootings in Minnesota that left a state lawmaker and her husband dead and a state senator and his wife badly injured.
Court documents have revealed some horrifying new details, including that the alleged killer went to 4 homes of elected officials on the night of the murders, posing as a police officer, arriving at one official's home whose life was likely spared because they were on vacation.
Fox's Matt Finn in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Police say Vance Belcher, who's charged with murder, had more than 40 Democratic lawmakers on a list. America's listening to Fox News.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
As thousands of National Guard troops and Marines remain deployed to Los Angeles to deal with protests over illegal immigration raids that got destructive, California keeps trying to send the troops home.
A federal appeals court will hear arguments on whether to extend a stay, allowing President Trump to keep National Guard troops in L.A. Last week, a U.S. district judge granted California Governor Gavin Newsom's request for a restraining order, directing the Trump administration to return control of the Guard to the state, finding the president's Guard call-up to be illegal, violating California's rights under the 10th Amendment by bypassing the governor. The DOJ appealing, arguing the president has the authority, stressing the move aimed to keep the peace amid anti-ICE protests. Newsom argues the president must work under the constraints of the Constitution, echoing LA leaders who say the unrest has mainly been within a few blocks downtown, and local officials are capable of handling it. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Another federal judge has extended a block on the Trump administration's ban for Harvard to accept new foreign students in a crackdown on anti-Semitism.
The judge says she simply needs more time in deciding whether or not she's going to grant a preliminary injunction, which would indefinitely block Trump's ban from being enforced until Harvard's lawsuit is fully decided. Lawyers argued that Trump is using Harvard's international students as pawns.
That's Fox's Brian Yanis. We just got an update on the economy, showing Americans spent less. Retail sales dropped again last month, a much bigger decline than the slight one in April, falling 0.9% in May, with a lot of the decline in car buying, which had spiked up in March ahead of new Trump tariffs on foreign cars and auto parts. On Wall Street, a sell-off looms. Dow futures down more than 200 points. In the NBA Finals, the Thunder move a win away from the championship.
Williams has been hot all night, falling away. Got it! 40 points for Jalen Williams.
Leading the way for Oklahoma City, beating the Indiana Pacers 120-109 on ABC to give the Thunder a 3-2 series lead. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Treasurer and Collector's Office is the latest Champaign County department set to move into the Bennett Administrative Center. Friday it was announced the Treasurer's Office will be starting its move at the end of June. As a result, there will be limited services available from June 30th through July 3rd as they transitioned into the new space. Illinois Secretary of State cracking down on the unlawful use of license plate readers. He announced new measures aimed at preventing further abuse following reports that Texas police illegally accessed Illinois automatic license plate readers to track down a woman for an abortion care-related case. Purple Heart Medal is back with the Geneva family of a late World War II Army vet. Illinois' treasurer returned the medal to a grandson of Private First Class Edward Gorski. He earned the Purple Heart during a mortar attack back in 1945. Chicago native enlisted in April of 1944 after turning just 18. That's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, Busey's been around over 155 years. They started a year after the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Busey, member FDIC. Well, we were trying to figure out. Muhammad got nothing. We got flash flooding and all kind. Diane's starter wouldn't work on her car because she drove through these massive flooded areas.
It was Diane, you can't do that in those standing water areas.
I didn't know how deep it was.
You never know, do you?
And then, I saw a car coming at me with the waves and coming off, and they were going too fast. I was surprised we weren't hydroplaning and losing control. It was just an area off Mattis, on the way to the post office area and things like that.
I mean, listen,
some low spots.
You see stuff and you don't know. I guess the rule would be you just got to pull where it's dry and wait.
But after I went through, 3 cars behind me turning around, saying, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Okay, but I got it. I made it. But then I had damage later.
Yeah,
Thank goodness it was in my own driveway.
But I've been to where I'm looking at this thing, and you certainly don't go fast. What the heck?
Right.
Yeah.
The guy's creating a wake.
I know.
It's crazy. We're not skiing here, sir.
I know.
So we got hit pretty good in some pockets.
Yes, and the fact is, those things this time of the year, sometimes those cells just warble around. They take their sweet time. They're cut off from the main weather systems. And so if I were to take a look at what happened in Indianapolis on the overnight, with 1 to 2 in some spots, 3, almost 4 inches from Indy, just north in a few counties there.
Wow.
That was the same mechanism that tripped off the stuff here. So I suspect, and I have not yet come up with any cooperative observer reports. If I take that system in Indiana and the Doppler radar, I would think in that short amount of time there were 1 to 2 and maybe some pockets that were a little shy of 3 inches that cell just sat there, and we had some of those kind of reports upstream around the Bloomington, Normal, Peoria area again. So that's officially at Willard and Savoy, nothing. So that's the range that we
I
had
was
yesterday.
driving back to Champaign at 1:30, and I'm driving from Philo. I go up on Duncan, and there's nothing. There's just nothing.
Yeah.
So Willard was bone dry, and
Bone dry,
I looked to the north. I'm going, Oh, that doesn't look good.
Right. It was.
What the heck?
It was really dark.
It was really dark.
And I had my wipers on the fastest they could go.
But you know what? It was pretty hard rain, and it usually kind of goes and it kind of slows up.
Right.
It just kept going.
I get to my destination and I'm like, man, I'm so glad I made it. It's been raining. and they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
You found a 20% chance of rain, which is what you're telling us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Meteorologist Greg Solier brought to you by Kurt Lenschow. He's at State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. Kurt Lenschow and State Farm are there. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier. Nice and cloudy. The fog seems to be gone. What you got today?
Yeah, in pockets, we were looking at this fog lifting to some low-level stratus in some spots, others still hanging on with some reduced visibilities. Rantoul, Willard, and Savoy, for example, but others trying to lift out. The dense fog advisory is still in effect from Champaign County, kind of either side, roughly, of the 57 corridor down, and then you pick up 70 from there towards St. Louis. And some of these wet grounds are contributing to that, along with the clear skies, light wind pattern that we had on the overnight hours. 70 at Willard and Savoy now, 69 Rantoul, 70 at Danville, 71 at Bloomington Normal. And again, with this low-level moisture, wetter grounds, we may bubble up the atmosphere for a stray shower or thunderstorm again this afternoon on a hit-and-miss basis, 20% this afternoon, late this afternoon and evening time. And warm, humid weather, getting hot and humid here into the back end of the weekend, early next week as well. We'll top out this afternoon to around 89 to 90, and the rain chance still holds coverage-wise at 20%. We'll build from there to a 40% likelihood after midnight tonight at 70. Tomorrow, variably cloudy, breezy, warm, humid showers and thunder. Everyone gets into it. Tomorrow morning, a break, and how we recharge the atmosphere determines on how severe weather goes tomorrow afternoon and evening time. Enhanced risk as we see it now. 86 the high tomorrow. 83, drier air, more comfortable on Thursday. A warm, dry first day of summertime. Friday evening at 9:42 if you're keeping track at 87. Here comes the hot stuff for the weekend. Building humidity, wet grounds. Boy, things will take off lickety swift from a growth standpoint. 92 Saturday. Sunday high 94. Mid-90s next Monday and Tuesday. For Stephen J. Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, so ESPN 93.5, it is 8-11. Cubs and Cardinals off yesterday. Pacers, a game down out of the Oklahoma City Thunder, 3 games to 2. They go back to Indianapolis. We'd like to see Game 7.
Game 6 is 7:30 on Thursday.
Okay.
St. Louis is in Chicago for the White Sox at 6:40 here on ESPN 93.5. Milwaukee is in Wrigley for the Cubs on Illini night. Pretty cool looking cap if you got those special tickets.
Cardinals play in Chicago again, and how do I say this? Nobody will be there.
Okay.
Go see wherever you want.
Right.
White Sox are better than last year. Well, they're not. They're still not very good. You always have Colorado, and they've won 14 times out of 54 or out of 65 or something. Yeah. So okay. So we have a clip here. When ICE came into Los Angeles, they went in to try and get some criminals that were there. They knew about. So these are illegal immigrants and convicted criminals. First 6 horrific crimes, they got them. So a couple of dozen people kind of gathered, were protesting ICE and coming in. You can't do that. You can't do that. The local police stood down and did not protect any ICE people. Donald Trump saw it and said, well, they got to have some protection. It's a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood. You always protect fellow law enforcement. They're breaking the rule. So he federalized the National Guard and sent him in to protect his guys. That's what happened. So Karen Bass is the mayor of L.A., but some subordinate is at the microphone here demanding that the federal government cleans up their mess.
I am demanding full accountability and reimbursement for the local costs incurred, including injuries to local officers and damages caused by the chaos unleashed when the Trump administration recklessly deployed the military and ICE agents into our communities. They are the ones who created this unrest, and they are the ones that need to foot the bill.
You can always tell a liberal by who they blame. It's never them. It is never them. Track it. It's always somebody else's fault. They don't take any accountability for their mess in Los Angeles. All right, so there's the subordinate for Karen Bass in L.A. who didn't say that.
Did you hear at the beginning? It sounded like a reporter said, "Oh my gosh."
Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. I was anything but a Lori Lightfoot fan. Lori Lightfoot, who would not take questions from white reporters. I would vote for Lori 10 times over this guy. He's, wow.
Yeah, let me just first acknowledge the level of anxiety and fear and trepidation that this administration has caused. You've never seen a society improve or expand under this type of fear. And we're going to...
Wait a minute, Barack Obama deported 6 million people. Just saying. Haven't heard you say anything about President Obama. So just FYI.
Continue to resist, and we're going to do it in many different ways, whether it's taken to the streets or to the courts or policy. One of the things that I am very proud of is that we are a welcoming city, which means our local law enforcement do not dub or behave as federal ICE agents. And so our local law enforcement, as we continue to rebuild and expand trust amongst all of our residents, it's important that we hold that line.
What if they're bad guys? Do you hold the line for the criminal, convicted, illegal? That's your idea of being welcoming to all citizens? It's warped. You got it messed up, Brandon. And when people go to those council meetings and criticize him, it's almost creepy. He just stands there and looks at him. And then there'll be an occasional reporter that asks a really hard question. And he just looks at him. It's just kind of creepy. Anyway, he's got like a 9% approval, so I don't expect him to be there, but he's still got like 2 more years. My goodness. Yeah, so put me down for voting for Lori Lightfoot way more than him. How can you get worse than Lori Lightfoot?
From bad to worse.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right, so here's one more here before we get to Fox Business. Brad Underwood, talking a little bit about what's happening with his international, and are they? He said, I've heard of some team somewhere had to deport somebody. So you still have to come legally.
Mm-hmm. We're hopeful sooner than later.
Brad, what have you thought of the challenges now of visas, foreign students, recruiting? Like, what are the challenges, and what have you learned about just dealing with those processes?
Yeah, everybody's doing stuff different. I've talked to a school that, they brought guys over on a tourist visa.
A tourist visa, yes, for a visit. All right, that's fine. It's whatever it takes.
I don't know why some of them would want to do that. It just gets them on campus and in the country. We've heard reports of guys being deported for different reasons. I don't think it's changed my status at this point very much. Knowing where we are recruiting guys from in terms of European countries, that I think we have positive relations with, and they haven't been on any ban list yet. So I think we feel really good about what that looks like. But at this point, it would just be, my opinion, and that's no good. We'll deal with stuff as it develops.
Do you feel optimistic about getting everybody here?
I do. Yeah. I do. I don't know. I feel like they're, we're in a good place, and it's, again, just step by step, and all these things take time, and we'll deal with it accordingly.
If you missed it, Ty Rogers is out indefinitely. He hurt his knee in a pickup game in Michigan. These guys all play.
Took a red shirt last season.
I really, really, really wanted Ty Rogers to play.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
Injury requires surgery, though,
that's,
indefinitely.
Yeah, I mean, and you never know what coming. I don't know what it is. Yeah, if it's indefinite, then to see how it goes.
So the brothers, Ivisic twins, seem to be working well together in that first practice.
Well, Tom, remember last year, a year ago now, we were wondering if Thomas was going to get a play. Mm-hmm. He said, well, he was not an amateur. He received money, and it was, well, that's what everybody, well, they waited. They took a year of eligibility. So he's technically what would he be? A junior. He's not, he's done after this year. I'm sure he'll be drafted in the NBA. We've never had 2 players in the same year invited to the green room, meaning you're like lottery pick, or really, really close.
That's right. With Will Riley, we got it. And in New York City, June 25th and 26th, we'll see what happens.
Kasparis Jakajonas and Will Riley are in the green room. We've never had it. Brad's got to be there, right? Mm-hmm. You totally want to be there for those players and to be seen having high draft picks. I mean, that's something else. That's really, really, really unique. So, but Ty Rogers is a hit, I think. I mean, a real hit. And I would think, I have no idea, but I would think first of the year, I don't know what he has. I don't know if it's a real tear or anyway.
The quest for the Stanley Cup continues. Edmonton and Florida tonight. The Panthers are up 3-2 in that series. Okay. If the Panthers win, it'll be back-to-back Stanley Cups for them.
You want a year's maintenance from Land's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing? That's our Stever. $500 called the Orange Club. 217-359-2255. Text in LANZ if you're interested. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Meteorologist Greg Solier now will look at what we've got going on today and for the rest of the week.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity off and running with some areas of fog and some patchy dense fog through mid-morning. Otherwise, a very warm and humid day's worth of weather. Free Central Illinois, the Twin Cities, a partly sunny sky up to about 89 and a small chance, much like yesterday, for an isolated shower thunderstorm this afternoon and evening time. Light south wind continues today and tonight. Overnight lows near 70. Maybe a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Better odds are after midnight for the day tomorrow. Variable cloudy, breezy, warm and humid. Showers and thunderstorms in the morning. They're back in for the afternoon with an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow afternoon. Highs up to 86. Scattered showers and thunderstorms early tomorrow night. Low down to 66. And a sun-filled Thursday. Less humidity in the air. The high up to about 83 on light northwesterly winds. First day of summertime. That will be Friday evening at about 9:42. Partly cloudy, warm, 87. Hot, humid for the weekend. Early next week. Maybe a thunderstorm early Saturday. Up to 92 there. 94 on Sunday. Mid-90s next Monday. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Retail sales slumped last month, down 0.9%. Excluding autos, the drop is 0.3%. Economists were expecting consumers to pull back in May, reflecting the backdrop of tariffs and economic uncertainty. However, the numbers are weaker than expected. Stocks are under pressure. The Iran-Israel conflict appears to be ramping up. The Federal Reserve meets today and tomorrow and is not expected to lower interest rates. Kraft Heinz shares are narrowly higher after the food giant revealed it will remove all artificial dyes from its foods by the end of 2027. Its mac and cheese eliminated artificial colors in 2016. Home builder Lennar's quarter weaker than expected, though it's working to make homes more affordable and is lowering prices. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
It's Will Kane Country.
The two guys on Trigonometry say we can't even get leftists to come onto our podcast. I know that I have trouble booking leftists for debate because they don't want to debate. They don't want to converse. They want to enforce their viewpoint.
Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group. Some of the things that sellers can do to increase the value of their home.
We get this on almost every listing appointment. Hey, Nate, what can we do to increase the value of our home? We want to sell in a couple weeks. Are there some simple things we can do around the house? Or there's some major things that we can do around the house to increase the value or get a return on our investment? And again, not every home is created the same and not every situation is the same. So if we walk in there, there's definitely some items that we can do. Paint, floors, and hardware are the easy items where you get your biggest return out of every time. That's easy to say. But there's a lot of times where we'll get questions from sellers where they're asking us, should I update my bathroom? Where should I stop on my floors? Should I redo my roof? Should I do mechanicals? And I think a lot of that plays into the overall scope of your goals. We like to get into the house when it's really not even ready for the market. We can get in there and usually save that seller a lot of money and a lot of wasted time and energy by just offering some simple advice on how we would treat it if it was our own.
You can reach out at Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Healthy Living Spas invite you to the 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo this Friday through Sunday at Carl at the Fields in Champaign. 3 days only with unbeatable deals. Save an extra $500 on any hot tub or $1,000 on any swim spa. Special financing available too. Doors open Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 11 to 7, and Sunday noon to 5. The 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo this weekend at Carl at the Fields in Champaign.
Well, tell me, Tim Onstadt, how is it going at Gail Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
We're back. We have Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the background?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Paul, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say, wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. Okay, so 10 years ago yesterday, Donald Trump came down the escalator.
Okay.
He's going to run for president as a Republican with the other 18 candidates. He's not a Bush. He's not a family. He's Donald Trump's celebrity. He's like on TV, and he's a famous dude, but president?
Right.
As a Republican, first of all, they'd have cried with joy if he had been a Democrat.
Might have think of him as the Apprentice show,
Yeah,
perhaps,
maybe.
and you're fired and all that.
Well, I mean, but if it would have been Democrat, they'd have embraced and loved him. But he said the R word, and the Republicans made him sign an agreement that said if you lose the primary, you won't run as an independent, and he signed it. So here's a reaction from the media. Trump has just come down the escalator. He's running for president. Here's a reaction.
I'm just really happy right now. A billionaire vanity candidate taking the escalator to the White House.
Hey, only losers walk.
Unconventional? Will people who love him love it? Yeah, but will it get him anywhere close to becoming the nominee or the president of the United States? I think not.
Can we stipulate for the purposes of this conversation that Donald Trump will never be president of the United States?
How do you even have a straight face right now? There are no words to describe what just happened.
Ed Rendell, do you have any doubt that this is anything more than a carnival show?
It's like I can't tell if this is politics or if this is just PR from a celebrity.
How about now? Elected twice. How about all the stuff they did to weaponize the government against the candidate, the top candidate against Joe Biden? How about the assassination attempts that had not he turned his head, we wouldn't be talking about him?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You know, I heard, who was it? Newt Gingrich talking about the fact that a kid from Queens would never be accepted in Manhattan. I don't know that dynamic, but he always had that trying to be in the in crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And he was rejected apparently so much that he just said, I'll just be my own thing and they'll want to be with me kind of thing.
Okay.
It's like, you know, being on the wrong side of the tracks and you have to prove yourself over and over and over because you're on the wrong side of the tracks. Nobody goes, ew. I mean, people do that now.
Well, and I feel like Vance has that sort of story too, really.
Yeah, J.D. Vance totally has that story. I mean, he's a hillbilly. How can a hillbilly be vice president?
Right.
What a joke. What dictators. Ew. you. End of democracy.
But that can really turn a person to, I'm going to show you.
Well, and it's pretty remarkable. Donald Trump has been very successful in business. Yeah, he had a good, solid start. His dad gave him $1 million, and he built a lot of buildings with $1 million because he kept growing it. So he's been highly successful. Top-rated TV show with The Apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs for president. They can't stop laughing. What a joke he is, because he's a Republican. He's now a joke.
Mm-hmm.
He'd been a Democrat, a whole different ballgame. And yeah, J.D. Vance is right there, scrambling from a very dysfunctional upbringing to, I think, a really brilliant dude. I really think he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot on their hands with Iran and Israel and what's next and what's happening inside of Iran. Every time somebody is apparently picked as a leader, they eliminate them. How they know what building they're in? Unbelievable. And they've been very careful trying not to have as many casualties peripherally like citizens. Israel's been very careful. Iran's just bombing, hitting military and people because they're not probably don't have the sophistication to do it anyway. All right, we're going to break for the news, come back one more segment. There was that Indian Air India crash, 240 people, one survivor.
Right.
His brother was on the plane, and he survived. How? I have a clip of him talking about it.
Okay.
The one survivor from that horrific crash in India, that's next.
This week, it's the one sale pet lovers can't afford to miss. The Pets Pick Flooring event at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. First, get a free labor credit on every carpet and floor. Get a $50 labor credit for every 100 feet you buy. Get up to a $1,000 rebate on great pet-friendly carpets and floors from Shaw. Ask how you can get free accessories or area rugs with your furniture purchase. And buy it all with 2 years free financing. The Pets Pick Flooring event is going on now at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump, back at the White House after leaving the G7 summit in Canada early, says he's working on something much bigger than a ceasefire between Israel and Iran.
Up on the Hill, some lawmakers are taking action now to ensure the president does not drag the U.S. into this conflict directly. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky writing, "This is not our war, but if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to the Constitution. I'm introducing a bipartisan war powers resolution today. To prohibit our involvement, I invite all members of Congress to co-sponsor this resolution."
Fox's Mark Meredith. Retail sales fell 0.9% last month.
Excluding autos, the drop is 0.3%. Economists were expecting consumers to pull back in May, reflecting the backdrop of tariffs and economic uncertainty. However, the numbers are weaker than expected.
It's Fox's Jenny Casola. Stocks are down to start the day on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Michael Madigan sentenced Friday to 7.5 years behind bars after he was found guilty in February of bribery and other corruption counts. Federal prosecutors say Madigan conspired with others to get ComEd to make monetary payments to his associates in exchange for favorable legislation. An immediate spike in oil prices following Israel's strikes on Iran expected to show up at gas pumps across the U.S. in the coming days and weeks, pushing up fuel prices by as much as 25 cents per gallon. That according to Gas Buddy. Prices rose by more than 8% Friday after Iranian ballistic missiles hit Tel Aviv in a retaliatory attack. Central Illinois about to get a little bit sweeter with the official openings of not one but two Main Scoop ice cream locations. Tuesday, several restaurants in the Yard on Broadway and downtown Urbana prepared for business, including the Main Scoop ice cream. Smith Burger and Public House, 1833, also opened up. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign event this Saturday. Plenty of moisture-making opportunities and signs of a flash heat wave weather pattern developing come the weekend into the first half of next week as well. Slim chance for a stray shower thunderstorm this afternoon, much like yesterday. Otherwise, partly sunny, very warm and humid. Still have some areas of fog and patchy dense fog to contend with here through early to mid-morning hours of today. Highs up to about 89. Light south wind 70 tonight with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Otherwise, a warm and humid night. Scattered showers and thunderstorms well after midnight tonight. Light south-southwesterly wind. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms around in the morning. A break back in for the afternoon with an enhanced risk of severe weather. Variably cloudy skies up to 86. Scattered showers, thunderstorms early tomorrow night down to 66. Sun-filled, less humidity in the air for the day Thursday at 83. First day of summertime, Friday evening 9:42. Partly cloudy, warm at 87. Hot and humid over the weekend. Early next week, maybe a thunderstorm early Saturday. 92 there. 94 Sunday and Monday, hot to 96. For Steve J. Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
We have a Stever. It's maintenance on all your HVC, all your water heaters, sump pump, water, plumbing. They'll take a peek at your ground underneath stuff to make sure there's no clog or a tree root getting in the way so you know about it. Anyway, LANZ, just text LANZ, text it to 217-359-2255. That's the Fisher National Bank text line.
Get that peace of mind being in the Orange Club with LandsInc.com, giving you all the details.
Yep, and it's about a $480 value.
It is.
Well, all right. Again, 217-359-2255. So, plane crash in India, killing
Thursday, June 12th.
Killing everybody but one.
And seated in 11A, which was an exit row, is what I'm reading now.
I think he had a brother on the plane.
Mm-hmm. A 45-year-old brother. He was 40.
Man. All right. So here's, I think, presuming he's speaking Hindi. Well, with a translator, I mean, how would you feel if you're the only survivor of that?
Right.
I would think it'd give you a tremendous purpose that God wanted you alive. I mean, wow.
With 241, I believe, passing away. In this.
Everybody on that airplane except this guy.
For some time, I thought I was also going to die. But when I opened my eyes, I realized I was alive, and I tried to unbuckle myself from the seat and escape from where I could. It was in front of my eyes that the air hostess and others died. After the takeoff, within a minute, it felt like the plane came to a standstill for 5 to 10 seconds. The green and white cabin lights turned on in the flight.
Green or white.
I could feel engine thrust increasing to go up. But it crashed with speed into the building. The side of the plane I was in, it landed on the ground floor of the hostel. I don't know about the other part of the plane, but where I landed was on the ground. I could see that there was space outside the aircraft. So when my door broke, I tried to escape through a little space, and I did. On the opposite side of the plane was the building wall, so nobody could have escaped. The plane crashed there. There was some space where I landed. I don't know how I managed to escape. It was in front of my eyes that the air hostess and others died.
One survivor. That's him. It's unbelievable.
Vishwash Kumar Ramesh.
Yeah. And just
11A.
Yeah.
Miracle on 11A.
Okay. Earlier this morning, we got with Mike Tobin, who was in Tel Aviv. Mike Tobin attended the University of Illinois. He was on the gymnastics team, and Yoshi Hayasaki suggested he try something else.
And here we are.
So he's in Tel Aviv reporting now, one of the top senior correspondents for Fox News, earlier this morning.
Top leaders in Iran getting whacked. And this dynamic situation where Israel said they tricked a bunch of them to be in the same room, so they were able to get them all with one missile.
It's unbelievable. If they're going to name another head guy, you might go to the bathroom. You don't want to be in that room. I mean, it's real. True. Why would you? They're going to Israel somehow know and hit you, and they'll know where you are. It's unbelievable. So how does this go? I mean, is Iran? This could be a amazingly good historic time if you can get rid of the top 10% of that country, because I think the other 90% want a little different government.
Well, how long have we been hearing about the secular youth in
long
Iran?
time.
Yeah, they were supposed to rise up and overthrow. I think it was part of George Bush's planning when he used to say freedom is on the march. He was counting on the secular youth to rise up and overthrow the Ayatollahs. And actually, I heard one diplomatic leader say not too long ago that a good revolution is like tipping over the fridge. You have to rock it a few times. And maybe that's what we're looking at. Maybe that's what President Trump has been hinting at. He just abruptly left the G7 summit and said he's not interested in a ceasefire, something bigger than that. And when pressed on Air Force One in the early hours of this morning, he said, when someone said, "What do you mean by something bigger than that?" He said, "An end." So what does he mean by an end? That's tough to say. I mean, maybe an end of the nuclear program if the U.S. participates in strikes on Fordo. Fordo is one of the nuclear facilities inside of Iran, and Israel, it appears, doesn't have the capabilities to really damage that structure. It's built underground. The U.S. has this 30,000-pound bunker buster bomb that they would need the B-2 bomber to deliver it, and Israel doesn't have the B-2 or that bomb. Then a lot of speculation about whether the U.S. would get involved.
Could you sell it to them for $10 or something? Can you give it to even though it'd be us essentially de facto for sure? But how do you build nuclear stuff 3 miles underground? 3 miles?
Well, they've been doing it for a long time.
Wow.
And for a long time. Even the Natanz, we don't know how much the Natanz facility has been set back, other than the fact that we know that they had power outages. And apparently centrifuges are very fragile. So if you abruptly shut off the power, you'll break the centrifuge.
All right, Mike Tobin, we really appreciate the minutes. I know you're getting hits all day. Good to have a man of your stature out there. And sorry you didn't get to the Olympics on the other thing, but you did climb Mount Everest.
Yes. Well, I would have been on the Olympic team, but I just wasn't that good.
Mike Tobin earlier commented on being here in gymnastics with Yoshi Hayasaki years ago, and just climbing Mount Everest. Didn't tell anybody, obviously his wife, family, but he didn't tell Fox News. He just had the time off, but he'd been planning, and I'm sure working out for this thing. He said it was really, really difficult, but he reached the summit, the highest point man can go, essentially a cruising altitude for a jet at 30,000 feet, 29,000 and something. And how weak he was at the end. He did 22 push-ups, you read?
Yes, remembering veterans who commit suicide and how that happens daily. And so he was doing that in honor of them, despite being exhausted. 22 push-ups at the summit of Mount Everest.
Apparently 90% of the fatalities and injuries occur on the way down because they're so tired. He said, I was all keyed up and ready for that because I knew that was a problem.
Okay.
All right, 8:42, Dr. Omar Kokar. So why is gut health so important, and how do I do it?
About 20 years ago, our understanding was really one-sided traffic between the brain and the gut, meaning that if you feel butterflies in your stomach or all these terms that we use, it means that your brain or your mood might inform your GI activity, meaning that if you're stressed out, you get constipated. It's very common in females. But what we're learning now about gut health is that directionality between the brain and the gut is actually bidirectional. And what I mean by that is that we now have very compelling, good quality data that shows your gut microbiome may be responsible for a number of other things with your health, including mental health, appetite control, physical activity, athletic performance, sleep, and even mood.
Omar Kokar is an MD, board-certified gastroenterologist from OSF Healthcare.
OSFhealthcare.org.
Hey Illini fans, it's Luke Altmaier here, starting quarterback for your Fighting Illini football team.
Get to him, he's going to run right, he's in, touchdown, Illinois, Luke Altmaier, what a throw by Altmaier.
Altmaier's big time. We invite you to be a part of the action this year at Memorial Stadium. After a 10-win season and a Citrus Bowl victory, get your season tickets now for 2025 and make this season unforgettable.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, checking morning sports. Diane Ducey.
Well, the St. Louis Cardinals started up a series on the south side of Chicago against the White Sox. Here's your Redbird recap.
The Cardinals are hoping an off day is just what the doctor ordered, as they have won just 4 of their last 12 games. That's over an 11-day stretch, and they also just lost 3 of 4 to the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. They were able to enjoy an off day in Chicago yesterday, and tonight they're going to open up a 3-game series against the White Sox. The Cardinals have lost 3 games in the standings over the last week or so. Matthew Liberatore will start tonight for the Cardinals. The left-hander comes in with a 3-6 record, a 4.17 ERA. His last time out was on Wednesday against Toronto, where he gave up 5 runs and 9 hits in 5 innings. Rookie righty Shane Smith will go for the White Sox. He is 3-3 with a 2.37 ERA. 6:40 first pitch tonight. That means our coverage begins at 5:45. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
Milwaukee visiting Wrigley to take on the Cubs with a 7:05 first pitch tonight, and it's Illini night. I see a picture of Brett Bielema doing the 7th inning stretch singing, and I couldn't find who's featured tonight, but a special Illini cap with the Cubs on the front and U of I colors. So
Yeah,
should
right.
be great.
Awesome. Great.
We had Oklahoma City beating the Indiana Pacers 120-109 yesterday. The Thunder are leading that series 3-2. Game on Thursday, number 6 in Indianapolis at 7:30. Illini basketball practice has started. Some news coming out of that camp. Ty Rodgers in a pickup basketball game inside the last week. An injury requiring surgery. Took a red shirt last season. Just seems like Ty Rodgers can't get a break.
These guys do this all the time.
I
They
know.
go find games and players they want to work out with, and they play basketball all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it's just unfortunate. It's just, you can get hurt playing basketball, but you have to fall wrong or land on somebody's foot or whatever happened. But I'm so disappointed. Ty Rodgers has 2 years of eligibility.
Right.
He's from Michigan. Michigan State wanted him bad, and he stayed here even after the red shirt, ready to help this year, and we just don't know. We have no details. Indefinitely means we don't know.
That's right.
I don't think they know either. I don't think they do.
Will Riley with the Green Room invite for the NBA draft that's coming June 25th and 26th, joining Kasparis Yakachonis. And it looks like our USA Baseball Collegiate national team that's getting ready for training right now. Coach Dan Hartleb joining the crew after finishing his 20th season and 35 as part of the Illinois coaching staff here at Illinois, with the most wins in the program, 597.
Wow. Congratulations, Danny Hartleb. Well deserved. By the way, Shohei Ohtani pitched last night. First time in a year, had injuries.
Okay.
He's an amazing pitcher and hitter, best player in baseball by a lot. So he pitched last night, a little wild in the first inning, only pitched 1 inning. I just want to get him out there. And he was, they got a run. The Padres are really good, too. They got a run off of Shohei Ohtani, but he is now the 3rd person since 1901. 3rd person since 1901 to be a starting pitcher and the leadoff hitter. Last time that happened was 73 years ago.
Wow.
Then nobody does that. Not in modern baseball.
Okay.
You don't pitch and lead off. The pitchers are bad hitters. Oh, it's Shohei Ohtani. It's unbelievable.
From plumbing warriors to air conditioning conquerors, Classic Plumbing and Air is here to help your home feel better than ever. Whether it's a quick fix or a full system upgrade, they'll show up with the tools, the tech, and the tenacity to get the job done right. Locally owned and operated, they deliver plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Call 217-586-7473 or visit classicplum.com. Classic Plumbing and Air, plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Visit them at classicplum.com.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Legendary blues icon Buddy Guy is bringing his Damn Right Encore tour to the Virginia Theater June 24th. Celebrate the blues with the one and only Buddy Guy.
And the blues don't lie.
Whose unforgettable guitar mastery has inspired generations. You don't want to miss this electrifying live performance at the Virginia Theater June 24th. Learn more about the show at thevirginia.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign event this Saturday. Plenty of moisture-making opportunities and signs of a flash heat wave weather pattern developing come the weekend into the first half of next week as well. Slim chance for a stray shower thunderstorm this afternoon, much like yesterday. Otherwise, partly sunny, very warm and humid. Still have some areas of fog and patchy dense fog to contend with here through early to mid-morning hours of today. Highs up to about 89. Light south wind 70 tonight with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Otherwise, a warm and humid night. Scattered showers and thunderstorms well after midnight tonight. Light south-southwesterly wind. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms around in the morning. A break back in for the afternoon with an enhanced risk of severe weather. Variably cloudy skies up to 86. Scattered showers, thunderstorms early tomorrow night down to 66. Sun-filled, less humidity in the air for the day Thursday at 83. First day of summertime, Friday evening 9:42. Partly cloudy, warm at 87. Hot and humid over the weekend. Early next week, maybe a thunderstorm early Saturday. 92 there. 94 Sunday and Monday, hot to 96. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, it's Tim Onstadt, Dedicated Diesel. We love talking to you about Dedicated Diesel. What's news there?
I've got something. I'm tired of looking at this Dixie Chopper Classic 4060 industrial unit. It's got 58 hours on it. It's basically brand new. The MSRP on that unit is $19,273. The MAP price on it, minimum price that we're allowed to advertise, is $14,577. Somebody's going to walk away with that for $11,000. We're going to take $8,000 or $9,000 off of that and just get rid of it.
Wait a minute, you're talking about a $20,000 machine, and I can get this for essentially half off.
Yep, this is a Dixie Chopper Classic. It's got a 40 horsepower Kawasaki engine, 60-inch deck on it. Comes with all the warranty, $11,000, walk out the door. Call Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment. You can email me at timo@gftlog.com. Get more information, whatever you want to do, we'll get that to you.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, last call for our Stever, the program where I hand out money for you to patronize a good client. Today's good client is Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing and Underground. And all you got to do is text in LANZ. You can get the Orange Club, $40 a month, $480 total. They'll do maintenance for a year, covering sump, pump, everything. Last call, 217-359-2255 to text in LANZ to be considered, and we'll connect with you later today if you're one of our winners. We're going to do 2 of these today. Man, how can I spend $1,000 on that?
Go ahead,
Come
Stevie.
on, man.
It's our listeners.
Yeah. Okay, so we are June 17. My wife's birthday tomorrow. Excited about that.
That's right. 73 and clouds today with a high 85. Could be a warm one for my husband's car show. He's part of the Illini Collector Car Club, been the treasurer for decades. It's at Cunningham Children's Home, though. If you're car enthusiasts, they're spotlighting first responder vehicles. an old-fashioned, ambulance and they
don't have rust. They're all fixed up.
They are.
All right, they're
most
shiny
of them, but some of them have some authentic spots on them.
Okay.
Or whatever. We have all kinds of looks on this show, and we appreciate Cunningham Children's Home, who benefited from the $10 fee to get in for years and years. So they're actually hosting this year right off Cunningham and Urbana.
One more thing about Shohei Ohtani, the best baseball player in the game, maybe one of the best, if not the best of all time. Probably is, if you consider the level of competition now and all the stuff and the unbelievable talent in baseball, in all sports, professional sports. So if you have Shohei Ohtani and he got a lot of money, everybody knows that. How much is he being paid this year by the Dodgers? What do you think he's bringing home?
$20 million.
I think it's $2 million.
Okay.
It's called deferred.
Oh, that's right, because they're bumping the payments to later.
From 2034 to 2043, he's scheduled to get $68 million a year.
I see.
When he's done with baseball.
Okay.
That's not a bad pension.
Interesting.
That would probably cover the basics, right?
But this article is talking about going from pitching to hitting right out of the gate. Wow.
Amazing. No, it's just stunning. You just don't ever see it. That's why everybody wanted to see it. That's why I made it a point at 9:10 last night to watch him for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because he was done pitching after one inning.
A frustrated Dodger fan stuck in traffic trying to get there.
That's what happens when you don't go super early. That place, too, they're known in L.A. to go late and leave early.
That's right.
But they all tried to get there, and I'm sure you're right.
First time pitching since August of 2023 in the L.A. Angels uniform.
Hey, listen, thank you.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Meet you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday.
This week, it's the one sale pet lovers can't afford to miss. The Pets Pick Flooring event at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. First, get a free labor credit on every carpet and floor. Get a $50 labor credit for every 100 feet you buy. Get up to a $1,000 rebate on great pet-friendly carpets and floors from Shaw. Ask how you can get free accessories or area rugs with your furniture purchase. And buy it all with 2 years free financing. The Pets Pick Flooring event is going on now at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
From plumbing warriors to air conditioning conquerors, Classic Plumbing and Air is here to help your home feel better than ever. Whether it's a quick fix or a full system upgrade, they'll show up with the tools, the tech, and the tenacity to get the job done right. Locally owned and operated, they deliver plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Call 217-586-7473 or visit classicplum.com. Classic Plumbing and Air, plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Visit them at classicplum.com.
Healthy Living Spas invite you to the 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo this Friday through Sunday at Carl at the Fields in Champaign. 3 days only with unbeatable deals. Save an extra $500 on any hot tub or $1,000 on any swim spa. Special financing available too. Doors open Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 11 to 7, and Sunday noon to 5. The 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo this weekend at Carl at the Fields in Champaign.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your